So my accountability one that did this morning, it's kind of brought me on to maybe I should talk about the reasons why people lose control. I don't know whether you find this interesting, whether you do it and you need to know why. So losing control and shouting usually happens when your body and mind has hit a point of complete overwhelm. It's not a sign that you're bad or broken, even though you feel like you are. It's your nervous system trying to protect you. So I'm just going to give you some of the common reasons people shout or lose control. So obviously, as I said about emotionally unstable personality disorder, a lot happened to me and it was a build-up. So the emotional reasons is stress build-up. So it's when lots of small stresses pile up without release. Like I said, there's a lot of things that were happening and it builds up and you've not dealt with them little things that are going on through the week. So when the small stresses pile up without you dealing with it, your body reacts suddenly. Frustration. Again, I was so frustrated with everything that was going on and not getting anywhere. So when you're frustrated and things are not going as you expected, shouting can feel like is the only outlet that you've got. So coming into this, the frustration as well. So say you're feeling unheard, raising your voice sometimes feels like it's the only way that you get noticed. Like when you've told someone to do something 50 million times and then you end up shouting because you seem to think that that's going to make it better. And it can be repetitive patterns as well, old patterns. So if shouting was common around you growing up, your brain can default to it in conflicts. That's something that can happen. So if your children are in a shouty environment, they will probably become shouty. Thank God my daughter isn't like that. It's only now and then that I will lose it, but it's still too much, really. I'm not saying that we all have to be perfect and quiet. Just, learn when our bodies are going to lose control and sort of step away. But there's also, which we've spoke about this as well on another podcast, so the biological reasons of your fight or flight response, because your brain can't tell the difference between a real threat and a stressful situation. So it just floods you with the adrenaline, speeding up your heart and making your voice louder. I mean, you can be literally exhausted. So lack of sleep, even hunger. There's a saying that goes around, oh, I must be hangry, meaning you're hungry. Or illness. Feeling ill, being in pain, that can lower your patience and self-control. In some aspects, hormones have a part to play in it. So hormones can affect mood regulation and increase irritability. So a lot of the men would be like, oh, are you on your period, or are you going through the menopause? Because people do seem to get angry out of nowhere because their hormones are doing this to them. But I want to give you a bit of advice of ways to regain control. And I admit, I should follow these. I know how to do it. And I use it in so many situations, but for some reason, now and then, it's like I've completely forgot everything that I've ever trained in and learned, because my body's just reacting. So you can regain control when you are just screaming like a banshee or shouting. It depends you know, how loud you get. So just pause and breathe. Even 3 slow breaths can calm the nervous system. So, you know, just stop and pause. Stop and pause. It does so many things for you, as well as it calming your nervous system. Breathing, again, it keeps you in the present and helps you reflect on what is going on in that situation. But you need to notice the early signs. I mean, I knew that I was getting stressed and I should have done something about it. And I just thought I'd be okay. I'd be fine. I told myself that it was going to be a calm evening. We were going to be all right. But I'd not released what I'd been feeling that day and the days before. I kind of just skirted over it, and that never helps. So, I mean, the early signs of when you're going to lose control is literally you have tension in your jaw, you clench your fists. Some people, I don't clench my fists, but I notice the tension in my body, or faster breathing. That often comes before shouting, because, you know, your body's like getting ready. Step away, give yourself a break. It can stop the escalation. I was in a car and I was just in the midst of this like red fog, and I should have just got out of the car and just calm down a bit. You need to like do a health check-in. So you need to be eating well, resting, staying hydrated to improve your emotional balance. I was eating loads of rubbish last week. I wasn't drinking enough water, and even that can affect how you react, which is crazy. There's like the usual gentle outlets, what everybody tells you to do, but they are quite valuable. So journaling is amazing. If you like get everything out before you go to bed, just write it all down, dump it on a piece of paper. It clears your mind and helps you sleep. But walking, music, or talking things through can release tension without shouting. So talk to someone instead of just bottling it all up and dealing with it alone. Because if it feels like you're losing control, it can damage your relationships. So this is when you need to speak to your GP or a therapist, because they can check for underlying causes, like it could be anxiety, ADHD, or trauma responses, and give you tools to manage your anger in healthier ways. So that's just a little bit of advice that I'm giving you today about losing control. I hope it's helpful, and until next time.